You were taught that legacy equals your output. So the books that you produce, the businesses that you do, the body of work, the number of podcasts push out that content. The problem is that as we move into this age of AI, machines are going to outproduce you endlessly. AI can write 100 books before you even finish a chapter. Sure, we can ask, is it good? AI will produce more, period. It already is producing social media content for AI influencers. So in this podcast episode of Crown Yourself, we are going to really explore what your legacy is in the age of the machines.
Before we dive in, let me tell you about the book that started a podcasting revolution, Make Every Podcast Want You. It is not just a bestseller, it is a 2-time gold medalist, baby. This book is your ultimate guide to landing dream podcast interviews, building authority authentically, and making your voice the one they remember. If you've got a message and a mission, this is your mic drop moment. Grab your copy today in the link below and step into the spotlight that you were born for.
Welcome to the Crown Yourself podcast, where together we build your empire and transform your subconscious stories about what's possible for your business, body, and life. I'm your host, Kimberly Spencer, founder of crownyourself.com, and I'm a master mindset coach, best-selling author, TEDx speaker, known to my clients as a game changer. Each week, you get the conscious leadership strategies you need to help you reign with courage, clarity, and confidence so that you too can make the income and impact you deserve. Imagine this podcast as your royal invitation to step into your full potential and reign in your divine purpose. Your sovereignty starts here, and your reign is now.
Hello and welcome back to the Crown Yourself podcast. I am your host, Kimberly Spencer. I am so excited to be diving into this series on really looking at what your legacy looks like with this next decade that we have going on of the shift with AI that is happening in the world right now. This is not 6 months down the road. This is actually happening right now. And I felt so cold in this space as a mother of 3 children, looking at what are the skill sets? What are the things that we need to train both in ourselves and for our kids? Because the way we define work, the way we define our legacy, the way that we define our own output and our identity is going to have to be recalibrated in the next decade. We are going to have a massive identity crisis. Ideally, it's not a crisis, but identity shift in the next decade, which is why we are diving deep into this series specifically around AI. And bear with me, I have a little bit of a cold, so I am just getting over that. It is a pain in the butt, but we are still showing up, because that is one of the key tenets is what you're craving. It's not more output. It's actually not you doing more. What you're craving is actually being wealthier with your time, having greater permanence, having a stronger legacy and community and connection between people, because people will still need to connect to people, and to know that your voice and your vision and your courage are the things that will outlast you. They are also the things that will define you in this next era. So it's not just about making things and putting other stuff out there on the interwebs. It is about how do you actually make an impact in the hearts and minds of people. Legacy isn't built by doing. Machines have that locked in. Like AI, ChatGPT, they can do all the things. Like we can build AI automation systems. AI is doing they have AI agents doing financing and doing like your stock trades. Personal legacy is built by daring, by doing the bold, courageous move. It's audacity, not output, that lives on. So how do you need to be more audacious with your goals, more audacious with your communication, more audacious with how you are embodying all that you were meant to do at this time in history? You weren't born for no reason. You were put here on this planet. Your soul chose to come into this time at this time in history. So what are those bold choices that you are choosing to make, even though other people may be frozen? I mean, leading through uncertainty is incredibly scary, and we are about to embark. And this is not to be fatalistic or a Debbie Downer about the future. Like, I see the future as being so bright. I also see it as being incredibly disruptive. And in that space of disruption, we have to be aware of what are the risks, what are the challenges, what are those daring things that you are choosing to do with your life that AI can't replicate. AI can't replicate you getting into like an amazing relationship. I know there are people who have AI girlfriends. Like I know that has already begun. And the problem is AI, unless you program it, otherwise it mirrors back who you are, including your bad ideas. So if you just want a yes man or a yes woman to always agree with you, to never come up against any friction, then yeah, but we don't grow without the friction. And in a real human to human relationship where there's mixed signals, there is communication layering, there's nuance that unlocks something deeper within you when you truly open up to be vulnerable. That is how we grow together. I didn't build my legacy. I didn't manifest my amazing husband by just choosing to have somebody who I always agree with. Like, do we always agree? No. But I manifested him the day I claimed that I was going to be my most radically authentic self and honor that truth. And I had the courage to say, upon first meeting, here's who I am. Here's all the stuff. Here's all my baggage. Here you go. Do you want it? Do you like it? And of course, 13 years later and 3 babies and a house and a dog. Yes, apparently he still likes it. But all the other pieces of success beyond relationships, my TEDx talk, it didn't happen because I was productive. Like, I wasn't like, ooh, let me just send all these mass emails to all these people. I was intuitive. And I trusted my intuitive guidance that said, okay, this is the time to put myself out there to try to do this TED Talk in the Gold Coast of Australia, which was actually having TED Talks. And I already saw my positioning, that I was a unique story being an American stuck abroad. I happened to dare to pitch in an unconventional idea in an unconventional way. And I wasn't ready because I got accepted to do that TED Talk 3 weeks before. Like, I had to write, learn, practice, perfect my TED Talk within 3 weeks. I wasn't ready, but I was audacious enough to say yes. My book, it didn't land on a billboard in New York Times Square because I had the most content. It wasn't the longest book on guest podcasting in the world. There's other books about guest podcasting. There's other books about visibility strategies and marketing strategies and strategies that make you and your business and your brand stand out. But I got there because I had the audacity to make a request of the podcaster that I went on the podcast, and Jamar Jones was like, can you speak at this mastermind? And I was like, yes, I can. And he then was like, we're doing Change Your Circle, Change Your Life. Like, I'd love for you to be a part of this. I was like, yes, I can. And then beyond that, he said, well, can you come to New York and speak? And I said, yes, I can. And he said, we're doing a billboard. I said, great. I said, I want my book on that billboard. I had the audacity to say that over and over, to claim what it was that I wanted. If you fear AI, your focus is in the wrong direction. We can't stop AI. Like, I don't own an AI company. It's out there. Pandora is out of the box. What we can do is we can tailor our focus to be able to work with it so that your legacy can come from those bold, audacious moves. Legacy comes from being bold, not from just being busy. Busyness is a thing of the past, quite frankly. It will be. The question here is not what else can you produce? The question is, what is that bold move that you want a part of your legacy? So for example, we're coming out with our fart book. It's coming out in Q4. I'm so excited. It has nothing to do with my business. It is a project that I have with my kids that has been just a fun little project to put out there. And I've loved having it. And it's a bold move because no one expects it. And it's a bold move because It is something that I get to live into with my kids. Like the moment that my kids got my book, Make Every Podcast Want You, and they got to see and hold it and hold that thing in their hands, like that was my legacy of them being able to see, wow, mommy did this. Mommy wrote this book. This is the dream. Like they were holding it in their hands. They were promoting me and they were proud of me in that space. And now it's not about them being proud of me. It was about me as a mother, as a leader, as the queen of my family, to be able to say, if you have a dream, you can do it. They got to see me actually do my dream. That right there is legacy. So what is the dream that you desire to do to be the example for the people that you want to be leading? Machines will outproduce you. They will 100% outproduce you, but they will never, well, at least not for a while, they won't outdare you. The things you want to actually produce, that your soul, that your heart wanted to come through you and only you, not through AI, but through you. There is a power that is forged in the resistance to actually do that thing, whether it's getting into that relationship, writing that book, launching the podcast. Machines will outproduce, but the quality of what they do is not that, it's not there. I don't know if you've ever read an AI book or listened to an AI audiobook. It's not 100%. And it's like, oh, okay, great. Here's a whole bunch of content and here's like some things reflected back to me, but it's missing the soul. And that piece of your soul and that message that you have within you, you outsource that and you've lost you. You've lost the point. You're lost in the busyness. It's about you embodying that piece of you, that product, that book, that podcast, that message, that story that only you have. AI doesn't have that. You have that. So now more than ever is the time for you to be visible. Now more than ever is the time for you to say, I need to get out there and make my voice heard, especially because if you want positioning as a leader for the next decade, you have a short window, a very short window, because AI makes recommendations. If you want AI, which most people are like, a ton of people, I think it's gone up like 536% of people using AI versus Google. Google gives suggestions, AI gives recommendations. If you want to be recommended as the leader of your legacy, as the leader of your industry, as the leader of that mission, that vision that is pouring out of your heart, if you want to be recommended amongst those people that you admire in your industry, you better start getting your message out there in the way that your soul needs it to get out there. Because people feel soul. People feel it. And it's not filtering it through AI to just make it easy and convenient and as fast as possible. Like, yes, leverage, but don't just outsource all of your power to AI's creativity. It doesn't have the creativity that you have because it doesn't have as much of the audacity that you can have. And I'm not saying that you have to go out there and be flamboyant and curse and like do all the things. If you get to be audacious as who you are, if you are like a crunchy granola hippie Birkenstock wearing, like you own that space. If you are glamorous and luxury and like, then dial up that audacity, dial up the audacity of who you are and your brand so that you stand out in the age of production, because people will connect and they will need community around your authentic story and who you are, not just who you are outsourcing your power to be for the sake of producing a bunch of content. It's in your legacy of how you lead individually, each person in your life, whether it's your team, your family, your community, building those legacy elements that are personal, that relate personally, soul to soul, that is going to carry on in the next decade. Because AI it will outproduce you. It already is. But it cannot duplicate your soul. So how will you lean and double down on your soul's divine purpose in this season of life? If you love this episode, If you're cheering and like, oh my gosh, I am ready to double down on my purpose, on being visible in this space, then I would love to invite you to have a visibility consultation with me. We are diving deep in Communication Queens and really unlocking, not only with systems and strategies, but also from soul, the visibility strategy that your soul is in essence craving to be seen. More often people blame money and they say, oh, I need more money. I'm like, no, you need more visibility you need more eyes on you, and you need more people recommending, and you need more AI agents recommending you. So let's get you in the position, whether from podcasting or social media or longer form content, to get you out there in a way that aligns your story, your strategy with the systems that keep you sustaining in the next decade. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.
Thank you so much for tuning in today. If what you heard resonated with you, be sure to subscribe and start creating a bigger impact now by sharing this with a friend. Just by doing that one simple act of kindness, you are creating a royal ripple to support more people in their sovereignty. And if you're not already following on social media, connect with me everywhere at crownyourself.now for more inspiration. I am so excited to connect with you in the next episode. And in the meantime, go out there and create a body, business, and life that rules. Because today, you crown yourself.